All right, let's get it started. Hello and welcome to the Addicts Anonymous podcast. I'm your host, Jim R. Today we're going to be doing episode 58, and episode 58, we're speaking with Pink T. How are you doing, Pink?
Shit, I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me here today.
No doubt. We happy to have you. So let's dive in. Tell us about growing up.
Growing up, okay, I'm from the Midwest, Michigan, the Dirty Mitten, and I grew up in a small town called Onondaga. No one's gonna know where it's at all. That small, everyone knows everybody. Yeah, it's like literally like a country song out here, dude. Everyone knows each other, but it's nice because everyone looks out for each other and shit like that. So it's nice growing up out here, but growing up, a lot of getting in trouble. Let's just say that because when you have nothing to do out here, when you got the other kids around on bikes and stuff like that, we were the kids, I had a group of kids riding around on bikes, just always causing shit
Yeah.
all the time. Oh yeah.
How was life
But yeah.
growing up? How was life growing up when you were young at home?
Oh we fucking grew up poor and shit like that. Fucking, it wasn't terrible. The fucking trying to think of a way to put it. Basically, like the way I got like introduced with drugs was obviously growing up at home. My sister was the one that was the first person to use around me and shit like that. And but that's a lot of arguing and shit like that. I usually stayed in my room or I was playing outside, but when I was outside I was causing trouble, getting in fights and stuff like that. Uh
What else were you doing?
Vandalizing.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what else were you doing that got yourself in trouble?
Yeah, vandalize. I like spray painting shit. That was a bad habit of mine.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank God it's all taken care of now though. I actually got no charges or anything like that. I've kept my nose clean somehow. I've been lucky. I have someone watching over me.
that's good.
But
So what
yeah,
was
fucking growing up, I grew up around a lot of music and shit like that. My dad was he'd take me to concert venues and shit like that, little bars and for local musicians, trying to get big and stuff like that. So that's how I got into music myself and shit like that. Cause seeing these people live off the road and stuff like that makes me want to do it so I can travel, meet new people and shit. Just music really has helped me get out through a lot of shit. Fucking, I'm pretty sure everyone got through a lot of shit in their life, I'd probably say.
so how were you in school? Did I ask that already? I don't think I did, as far as your grades and things like that.
I was actually okay. I was a good student all the way up to high school, ninth grade. I did good my first two trimesters, and then third trimester hit. Fucking this, this because I just got stuck in my head about shit that happened when I was a kid and all that, and fucking. So it was good at first, and then I dropped out. So I'm working on my GED now, though.
What was the first age you ever used?
First age. Okay. Now if we're talking pharmaceutical wise, let's say not to get high, but you know what I mean, you used it, because I broke my arm when I was fourth grade, I want to say, and fucking they gave me a bottle of codeine and shit like that, and fucking so that's the first thing I ever really got to use. I'd probably say age it was probably I would say 14, popping pills and stuff like that.
Were you abusing them or you were just taking them as prescribed?
No, the pills I was abusing, but if we want to talk the codeine and stuff like that, first time I ever got a narcotic in my system, that would be fucking that would have been what, age 11, I think, 10, 11.
That's when you broke your arm?
Yep.
So what was it like growing up with friends? How did you interact with kids?
Other kids. I was the only kid literally red hair in the area and shit like that. So I was very easy to get picked on and shit like that. But friends and stuff like that, I always kept a very few amount of friends. You know what I mean? So, because I had I had bad like trust issues and shit like that. 'Cause you know how it grows, like how it is when you grow up in a broken home and shit like that. And my mom was always like in and out of the house and shit like that. So it was mostly my dad that took care of me actually.
What do you mean your mom was in and out of the house?
Like she was always out, and then like she was out of my life for fucking like 8 years or some shit like that. Just because she always wanted to like argue and shit like that. And some of it was my fault because I was causing issues, and then some of it was hers because she was drinking and shit like that. She was an alcoholic.
You think some of that was your fault that she left?
No, I don't know. I don't think it's my fault at all. Fucking, I was saying like some of the arguments were my fault.
Oh, that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you're young. Arguments are normal.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm
You
not
know,
trying to say anything, but the only thing I would ever say to someone that said that to me is when you're young, it's not really your fault. You kids are supposed to be kids. We're done. We're kidding around. I say you're inherently stupid when you're young. Can't help it.
I'm just learning every day, dude.
Yep.
Like, shit, wasn't there's no point in life if you're not learning at least one thing a day. I'll say that for sure. Even if you gotta reflect on your past and like learn something from your mistakes and shit like that. Because sometimes fucking what I realize a lot too when you do a lot of dumb shit, you kind of like think about some shit you did back in the day, and you're like, that was kind of fucking dumb. Like, and that you just gotta go through your head and sometimes realize what you gotta do and what you gotta do again and shit like that. But yeah, you're not lying. When you're young, you do a lot of dumb shit.
What would you say is the dumbest thing you did as a kid?
Oh God. Okay, I'm 22 years old. I'm not sure if you do that. So, fuck. Okay, are we gonna talk? Do I have to actually be a minor for it to be the dumbest shit I've ever done? Because I still consider myself a kid in a way.
Right now, you consider yourself still a kid in a way?
Yeah, well, I'm 22. Like, when I talk to anyone that's
Yeah.
like fucking 30, like kid and shit like that. So,
Yeah, you're a
but
young guy.
yeah, I'd probably say when I was like using heavy. Oh, dude, there's so much dumb shit I've done, dude. One time I was on acid and Xanax, and my friend told me he's like, dude, if you Wu-Tang that blunt roach, I'll roll another blunt. And I was like, oh yeah, fucking bet, dude. And I didn't know that you're supposed to actually swallow it. Like, you put it in your tongue, swallow the roach and shit like that. I actually inhaled it, like, like, and it fucking stuck in my windpipe, like burning still, dude. And my fucking friend literally fucking smacked my back, dude, and I couldn't breathe, bro. This blunt roach just stuck in my fucking like windpipe, dude, and fucking, and then I eventually like passed out and just I don't know, like puked it all out, bro. And there's just a one little blunt roach and just this pile of spit, dude, and fucking. That was like one of the most terrible experiences. The dumbest. That's definitely the dumbest thing I can remember. Probably besides like just walking around with drugs and being fucked up in public.
What were your favorite type of drugs growing up?
Xanax bars definitely had a toll on me. I'll say that just because self-medicating, that was the biggest reason I got into it. Because I just looked it up and it said anxiety, and I was like, okay, I got bad anxiety. I'm gonna fucking self-medicate. So that's when the white Xanax bars are around and shit like that back in 2016. And I was taking a half one like every day for fucking 3 months. And then I just remember I had like one more left, and like I wasn't gonna be able to get them anymore. So I was like, fuck, I'm gonna just take this whole one and shit like that and see how it actually feels. And my friend came over to my house. This is another dumb thing I actually did. This might have been the dumbest actually. And he was like, hey dude, let's learn. I'm gonna teach you a drive, bro, and shit like that. He's literally he witnessed me take the Xanax. He's sober too, and so I'm learning to drive and shit like that. And I tried to do like literally like a fucking like a straight up turn at like fucking I think like 45 miles an hour just at last second, and I almost rolled the fucking car. And he's like, "All right, bro, pull over. I'm fucking driving way back home." I'm like, damn. I'm like, that was definitely not a good idea.
No, definitely not. I look back and think about all the times I drove drunk. I mean, I hate to say it, countless times. And I now look back and say, besides risking my life, I was risking other people's. I could have crashed into like a minivan full of, a family and hurt them, I look back
Yep.
and I have a lot of regret. There's a lot of things, like I say, I can never do again now that I finally got sober and I've got my mind clear. I can think clearly now. It's been a long time since I could say that. What do
Hey,
you what do you think when you look back at yourself when you were doing stuff like that?
shit. When I think about that shit, all I'm thinking about, like, with the shit lately going on, 'cause I guess I got my ex-girl pregnant and shit like that. So right now I'm thinking about, like, okay, that's one reason. That's probably the biggest reason I can't relapse, because I don't want to have my kids see me all fucked up and shit like that. I'm not gonna let it affect its childhood and shit like that. My problems. But I think about, I'm like, I really had some fucking demons, fucking that's all we were doing, bro. Like, when you're fucking doing all that shit. And sometimes you put others at risk, but it's because we just don't give a fuck about anything, mostly ourselves. And like, still to this day, I'm just trying to find self-love and shit like that. And it's kind of hard too, like, I think about what fucking the shit I've done in the past couple of years, how much people I've worried, much people, like, because you lose a lot of people too when you develop bad habits like that.
It's funny you mentioned self-love. It's actually one of the 4 pillars of our program. So I call them the 4 pillars of Addicts Anonymous: self-love, discipline, hard work, and community. So self-love is the first thing you need in order to get your life going. Because
Yep.
without that, if you don't love yourself, there's really no reason to do anything. And you have to love yourself in order to help others. The good old-fashioned saying, you can't help anyone until you're able to help yourself.
Yep. That's a very good saying. That's another thing I was thinking too. It's just like, and if I really don't, like, if I don't have love for myself, then, like, how is my kid gonna look at me if I, say I love it, but I don't love myself? Like, he's gonna feel the same way. So, right now I'm just, what's keeping me sober right now is just trying to be the best role model I can right now. Honestly,
So you have kids.
I have a kid on the way,
Okay.
but yeah, I, because, like,
Congratulations.
thank you, man. I'm nervous about it, but it's, it happens in life and shit like that. But I appreciate it.
So does that have anything? So you said that does affect you in your sobriety because you never want your child to witness anything like that.
Yeah, I don't want no pills around it, no cocaine, because coke is a big thing for me too. It's like, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate. I got into the pills because they're so cheap too, and shit like that. Because you just go to the pharmacy, especially with people insurance. They just get it for fucking free sometimes and shit like that. So they don't care how much they give, sell it to people for, because it's extra money in their pocket. But fucking coke and shit like that, that was the biggest thing. That was fucking, like, running my pockets out and shit like that. And you gotta have money to have a kid and shit like that. I gotta be able to take care of myself at the end of the day. So right now I'm trying to fucking get a car going up and shit like that. Uh, Basically just doing, basic life shit, dude. Basic, just getting myself together. Fucking focusing on music is really big right now for me. Making clothing too and shit like that. Me and my friend, we've been making clothing for about like a year now and shit like that. It's been slow, but can't give up on anything.
So all this stuff helps in your sobriety, it looks like.
Yep, it definitely does. Like I said, I'm still struggling to find self love. Like, I'm getting better about it every single day and shit like that. But like I said, I'm early into this right now. But out of all the times I've, like, tried getting sober and shit like that, like, I feel like this is the one time I actually taken it seriously. I'm avoiding people from my past and stuff like that, that I know that don't give a fuck, if I die the next day or not and shit like that. I'm finding, because you don't love yourself at the end of the day too. You gotta have people around that actually love you,
Yeah.
because it really fucks with you too with shit like that. But yeah, it definitely helps my sobriety. Even, fuck, my dog helps my sobriety too. That was the biggest thing too, because I know I'm never alone and shit like that. Because I've been living alone fucking shit since I was 16.
Really? That's a young age. How come you were living alone so young?
Oh, okay. My great grandma actually lived in this house that I have. I inherited it, and basically, it's fucking I used to live right next door. My dad lives there now. My dad's just like, was like, yeah, just basically, you can just have the house. And I was like, okay. I've just been living here since I was 16, and that started a lot. That also caused a lot of trouble too, because but imagine being a 16-year-old just dropped out of high school, and you're like, no parents, fucking, I got the house. So you can just imagine fucking all this shit that could have happened.
What kind of stuff? What kind of troubles you get into? What were you doing? What kind of stuff did you
Nothing,
do?
just drugs, but fucking just uh just dumb shit, getting in a lot of fights and shit like that. You know how it is, fucking. If you have the party house, fucking people are gonna fucking always go through your shit, fucking all that type of shit, fucking. I just got sick of that shit. But honestly, fucking, since I live on the country, since I live at home, I don't get much trouble, surprisingly.
So have you learned any good lessons in life from all the stuff you've been through?
Yes, like I said, like I am 100% sure there has to be something watching over me after all this shit. You know, to not go to jail at least one time. But fucking, I've definitely learned a lot of things. Like you were just saying, like self-love, discipline. I really like that one. I feel like discipline's a very good one and shit like that.
Yep.
But shit, every day I'm learning something new, dude. Fucking, right now I'm just trying to focus on the mentality I want and shit like that. How I can get there, become the person I want to be. Hard work. Been literally working a lot harder and stuff like that. Like every night, what I do is that fucking I just listen to instrumentals. I just write down shit, for my music and stuff like that. And I just been really focusing on that.
So when was the first time you realized that you had a drug problem?
First time, probably when I was like 16, I'd say.
You realized that you were addicted.
Yeah, because before I just thought addiction was like more of a mental thing, which it can be too. That's half the battle. I will say that, especially depends on what you're addicted to. But what made me really feel like I was an addict was when I was coming off Xanax and shit like that the first time. And I was just sick, like I was so sick and shit like that. And I did not know I was sick. I actually thought I was just, had a flu or something like that.
Why
And
were
then
why did you stop taking the Xanax?
just because I was taking him too fast, so the guy that was getting prescribed, he wasn't, able to supply as much I was taking. So eventually, it basically I just got basically cut off after a while. I just didn't have a supply to get them and shit like that. And then yeah, so it was like it took me 3 days to actually withdraw shit because like first day I quit taking them, I was like, damn, I don't know why I was taking those Xanax. I felt great and shit like that. And the second day I was like, yeah, it's okay. And the third day was just the worst. It was like one of the worst withdrawals I've ever had. I've actually have had seizures from Xanax withdrawals before.
Yeah, I mean, it's dangerous. There's two things you can die from when it comes to withdrawal. One's benzos, one out. From what I understand, one's benzos and is alcohol. Other drugs you won't die from, like heroin and crack, coke, meth. You feel like you're gonna die, but you don't actually die.
Yep. You just gotta take care of yourself because I have heard about people. The only other drug than alcohol and benzos I've heard about people dying from withdrawing is heroin, but they just die because they don't take care of themselves because they feel so bad. So they don't, they die from dehydration or fucking mostly dehydration from what I heard, but starving themselves, just shit like that because they don't feel good and they don't move at all.
So what did you do once you realized you had a problem? What did you do?
Uh,
Because it sounds like the Xanax withdrawal was not. It's not like you chose it. It's just you lost your supply.
yep.
You lost your hookup.
So what I did when I found out I had a problem, I hid it for years. I ain't gonna lie, dude. Fucking
You said
my
years.
yeah, my friends didn't even know how bad of a drug addict I really was until like 2020. I'd probably say like 2019, maybe and shit like that. But it's because I was using a lot heavier at that time too. Like my friend would come over and I'd have like fucking like I'd take like 40 Xanax at a time and shit like that and shit
Man,
like that. And it was like crazy shit. And my friend was just like, he kept saying, he's like, dude, you're gonna fucking die and shit like that. And and it took me a while because like I'd be like, okay, I gotta get clean, and then I'd fail and shit like that because I didn't have self love. That was the biggest thing and shit like that I've realized and shit like that with coming to sobriety is that I just didn't care about myself and shit like that. And the people I was surrounding myself, I knew they didn't care about me, so why would I care about myself?
Exactly.
But
That's
yeah,
why
it's I did go to I did go inpatient program though for a little bit. Uh not by choice, I'll say that, but it's because fucking I was so fucked up and shit like that that fucking they took me in there like, yeah, you need help and stuff like that. So I went and got help and
who's
that did help
who's they?
a lot. One time the police and the second time my friend that I met from the first time I went in. He just took me in because he was like, you're gonna fucking end up killing yourself. So he just took me in and said, just told the hospital, he's like, yeah, he took a bunch of Xanax. And if you go there, it's not like a hospital and tell them that kind of shit. They assume that you're trying to kill yourself. Which I look back like that's another thing I like reflect on too is like in reality like I may not have been like when I'm taking all the pills I'm thinking like I'm not trying to kill myself, but in reality I was just slowly just trying to kill myself. And fucking so he was right and shit like that. I think about that a lot too now. But yeah,
Yeah, sometimes people see stuff that we just don't see while we're in addiction.
yeah, that helped me on one friend get out of his Xanax addiction. I hope he's still staying strong too. But I told him I was like, you're just trying to kill yourself. I was like, because uh you can definitely tell, especially with the pill world. I will say that, especially with the Xanax shit, because some people go hard into that shit, dude. Like hard. Like fucking, he told me he took like 40 some pills and shit like that. I was like, you just don't care about your life, then, dude. Like I was like, you don't care if you woke up or not, dude, because like you're not gonna remember any of that, dude. Like you don't get high at that point. You just black out and shit like that.
Yeah, to me, there's no point taking that many.
Yeah, and it's like it's because you just don't want to you just don't want to deal with the demons in your head. Like you could probably relate with drinking and shit like that. Like, some people, they just hammer a whole bottle down, What's the point of doing that? You just don't want to be conscious. That's all the problem.
Yeah, I drank myself to sleep every night. It wasn't even sleeping; it was passing out.
Yeah, exactly. I was doing the same exact shit, dude. Fucking because when I was first getting sober, I was thinking I could drink and stuff still and shit like that. And then I fucking when I drink and went and did cocaine, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm done. So yeah, I'm done with the drinking too. So
You're done with everything.
yeah, like I said, just California sober.
And what do you mean by that? Let's talk about that.
California sober. Well, some people it can mean drinking still and shit like that. For me personally, not, but just smoking weed and shit like that. And I got other friends that they don't want to be around that kind of shit. So I respect that too and shit like that.
So
But
be
yeah,
honest. Do you use it to? Are you using it medicinally?
yeah. My like I said, fucking because back to when I broke my arm, I still do have pains from that. Like my shoulder's double jointed and shit like that. And yeah. So it's medicinal, and then I'd probably say I do use it to relax too and shit like that. But
So do you still drink or anything, or that's just that the weed?
no more drinking, just weed.
All right. How would so you're using that medicinally? Do you still do anything else, or you're completely sober?
No, I'm completely sober. Fucking after I actually went to my second inpatient program, another thing that made it hard for me to stay sober was that they gave me a script of diazepam, which is Valium, and as a Xanax addict, that's like the worst thing you can give me. You know what I mean? And so fucking I had kept that cut off and shit like that because I kept telling myself if I take how it's prescribed and shit like that, but I had no self control, you know. So I just had them cut that off.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do. A lot of times, just telling your doctor to cut you off, because then they're never going to prescribe you stuff again.
I just told like yeah because when the worst part too is that if you just telling you want to get cut off and shit like that, which you want to really do is when they want, if you really want them to cut you off, you gotta tell them I abused it and shit like that, because they you ain't gonna get charged for that, but once you tell them you abuse it, they're not gonna give it to you again
Yeah.
and shit like that. Because with the benzos, it's a really hard thing too, because like that's the one thing they won't cut you off on no matter what, because the seizures that's the problem with them.
Yeah, they'll taper you off before they cut you off.
Yeah, fucking yeah, it's crazy and shit like that. It really is. And because I remember the first time I went inpatient, I was like the entire time I was at the hospital, I was like, oh, I'm about to get a Xanax script. I can't wait. I'm about to fucking. And I just kept trying to fool it, and they didn't do it. And the second place, they actually did it, but they didn't give me Xanax. Like I said, they gave me a Valium. But yeah, fucking. And then I came back to my doctor, my therapist, and she was like, oh, you actually did get your benzo script like you asked for. And I just knew she was so pissed and shit like that. But yeah, but like shit like that too is like you just basically that's what they call doctor shopping and shit like that. Some people just go to all these other doctors and shit like that till they find one else give them shit, which is
Yeah.
pretty wild. That's like legal. It really is.
Now they keep track of a lot of that stuff electronically.
Like I hope, dude, fucking. But yeah, shit's got like I said, just fucking got that out. Quit drinking because I know the shit that's gonna make me do the drugs that because I can be around drinking and shit like that, and fucking I'll be fine shit like that. But if I know once I drink, I won't want to do other shit. If I get that Valium, I'm gonna fucking take all of them, and then that's another thing I'll drink too, and then that's a bad combo to mix them with benzos and alcohol. It's actually a fatal combo. I actually overdosed one time doing that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's literally what I lived on for over 10 years. I drank every night and I popped Klonopin. I was prescribed Klonopin.
Yep.
At one point, I was prescribed 3 a day, so I just wouldn't do any during the day. And then I pop all 3 at night and then I'd be drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, when you have benzos in your system, it actually makes you twice as drunk. So anything you drink, it's gonna be like double potency.
Yeah, that's why. And I always used to try and do it on an empty stomach.
Yup. You're lucky to be alive. That's fucking. It's a terrible combo. That was another bad thing with my Xanax use is that because I cannot even like really even drink like in general. Like, I have a hard time putting it down. But shit, you get one second I get a fucking Xanax in me, I can just drink as much as I fucking want.
Yeah.
Like it's a terrible combo. Fucking. I have a buddy that his cousin passed away from that actually.
Drinking and Xanax.
Yep, drinking and doing Xans, yeah, because it just makes it you basically your body just gets so relaxed where you can't move your muscles while you're sleeping, and you basically just can't breathe anymore.
I'm lucky to be alive. I really am.
Dude. Yeah, really. Fucking one time, one of my dumb stories too is that I was in the city with my one friend. It was like this is like one of the not good friends. Let's say that. Uh, and I went to his house and shit like that because I was already on Xanax and shit like that. And I was talking to him on the phone. And my one friend, he was all fucked up on Xanax. Came in the room and he pointed a gun at me like as a joke and shit like that. But I was like, dude, don't do that. We're fucked up right now. Like, it's not funny. He's like, it's not loaded, bro. I was like, yeah, I don't know that though. I was like, it's like still like gun to me is always loaded. And
Yeah.
then we just got in a fight. Then I went to my friend's house. That's a piece of shit. Or I won't say piece of shit, but he's just one of the people that just doesn't give a fuck and shit like that. Not good for my sobriety. And so I go there and he was already fucked up on Xanax too, because he was a Xanax addict as well. Because we actually met in the hospital. And I got 40 shots of Fireball for you. Every time you can take a shot of Fireball, you can take a Xanax bar.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, and I did all 40 shots, I guess, like in a row, and popped all 40 Xanaxes.
How did you not die? You didn't give yourself alcohol poisoning?
Dude, like I said, there has to be something watching over me. That same friend, I did OD at his house. I got laced with fentanyl before with Percocet.
It was a
It was a
Percocet
fake
laced. It was a Percocet laced with fentanyl.
Yep. Yup, I got yeah, that happened for sure. Fucking that was at his house too. And this is one thing I like this is one thing I reflect on a lot, like you asked me earlier, is about keeping people like what I've been saying about keeping people around you because he would actually want to leave his apartment when I was overdosing. And my one friend Sammy, so shout out to her. She was like, no, I'm gonna take the charge if they want to charge anyone. Like we're not gonna leave him here, dude. Like and shit like that. So if it wasn't for her, I would literally be just not here right now.
Yeah, you're lucky to be alive.
I think that every day. Sure, we
I
both
think,
do, honest.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't realize how dangerous what I was doing was. To me, it was just normal. I do remember I used to every now and then get a really terrible chest pains, like horror, and then I would just wait till they went away and keep drinking. I would just keep drinking. It was crazy. You know, you look back and just dumb shit we do.
I do.
So
All
what's
we can do is reflect on it.
exactly? We could just try our best. So what's life like for you now? How's life being sober?
All right, but life for me right now, like I said, I've only been the last day I used was on my birthday, which was last, or it's been like 2 months now actually. I've been clean, so but shit, I just been trying to keep busy. I've been like I've neglected on a lot of housework and shit like that because you know how it is when you're getting fucked up and being dumb and shit like that.
Yeah,
And especially because like when you're an addict that isolates themselves. I'm not sure if you were like that, but it sounds like you were from the stories you were just telling me. Like I would kind of do the same thing with my Valium script. I would get a pint of pop off and I'll just take like 4 fucking Valiums and shit like that, and I'll drink and shit like that. And that was my everyday normal for like all last year, honestly, and shit like that. And
yep.
fucking, so I did not get fucked what my house looked like. My house was dirty. So right now I'm just basically learning just self love with self care. Honestly, fucking been on top of like a lot more shit. Studying for my GED and stuff like that. Trying to get that done. But yeah, fucking that's it. I started exercising too more and stuff like that too. So I've been a lot more active.
Well, those are all good things that are help you stay sober, like staying active and running or whatever you do as far as exercise, and then just helping your future. You know, that's one of the things we
Hmm.
neglected was to look for our future. We just thought about the then and now, and then got, high for the moment and then the next day, then the next day. And eventually I saw this great saying like one time I misplaced a decade. Like that's so true. I'm joking around in my life. I did misplace a decade once. Like for 10 years, I drank, I did Klonopin, I was doing painkillers, I was doing Adderall, I was doing Xanax, I was doing morphine, Percocet, Oxycontin, like you name it. I was popping it. I loved pills. Pills were my thing. Pills and booze.
Yep. I
Yeah.
Thanks for that, dude. That was my thing. Dude, fucking fuck.
So is
Those
there
are
anything else you want to say to whoever's listening?
no, I can think of off top. Just if you can, guys, look up my SoundCloud. Follow me on Instagram. My name's Pink T, and it's VOD at the end of that. Well, that's all it. And thank you for having me on here, dude.
No, it was a pleasure having you. You had a great story. And for everybody watching, and if you liked what you saw and heard, go below, click subscribe. Also give us a like. Also give us a like on iTunes. We're on Spotify, also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you go to our Facebook group page, under the events tab, you will see our list of our Zoom meetings, which we do daily, every night at 6:30 Eastern time. And sometimes we do it during the day as well, but you'll see all that on the schedule once you go under the events tab. So I hope everybody liked what they heard today, and until next time.